And I looked at him, I said, I am the best. And this was 16, and that was a little delusional.
This is what we do to hold people back. It's called self-hate. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything.
If I was to quit rapping and I said, I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No. Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I can do anything.
The most successful people on earth are so delusional, it looks like they can literally bend reality to their will.
We get too caught up in what everyone's saying, and sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation.
Or what if I told you their delusion isn't the mental flaw?
I am Shakespeare in the flesh, Walt Disney. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god.
It's a psychological superpower called Pronoia. That's the unwavering belief that the universe is secretly conspiring to help you win. If you use it correctly, you can manifest your absolute dream life.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
But if you forget the most important rule, it will backfire drastically and ruin you. To make sure that doesn't happen, we're breaking down the science, the real world proof, and at the end of the video I'm giving you the exact 5-step framework to build this superpower safely. Let's unlock it. The first step is to see through the lies. Be realistic. Have a backup plan. Don't get your hopes up. Society drills these phrases into us from day one. We're taught to play it safe, don't risk too much, and don't dream too big. And it sucks the absolute confidence out of us. Think about it. Have you ever had a huge audacious goal? Something that lit a fire in your stomach, but the moment you said it out loud, you got those skeptical looks. That's a bit unrealistic, don't you think? Those voices aren't trying to help you. It's society trying to kill your ideas before they even have a chance to ever exist. But we believe that voice. We become our own worst critic and destroy our dreams before we even try. Meanwhile, you see someone else, maybe someone with half your talent but double the confidence, cruising past you because they've refused to accept reality. To break out of this trap, you have to realize that the world isn't shaped by realists. It's shaped by unreasonable people who are entirely detached from the current reality. To change your life, you have to stop looking at the world as it is and start practicing a strategic, intentional delusion. But how does a person actually build that level of insane confidence when the whole world is telling them no? To understand that, we have to look at the exact opposite of a psychological disease you suffer from every day. Step 2 is paranoia versus pronoia. You've definitely heard of paranoia. It's that awful, crippling feeling that the world is conspiring against you. Every coincidence is a plot to bring you down. Every whisper is a judgment, and every setback is just more proof that the universe wants you to fail. It's a dangerous mindset that leads to fear and inaction. Now, imagine the exact opposite. Imagine a mindset where you believe the universe is secretly plotting in your favor. This is pronoia. It's that deep belief that everything that happens is a part of a big conspiracy to actually help you succeed. A missed opportunity isn't a loss. It's the universe clearing the path for something better. A harsh critique isn't an insult. It's a crucial lesson you needed to hear. A delay isn't a setback. It's the universe giving you more time to get it right. Did you know that pronoia was first seen as a mental disorder by psychologists? They described it as the delusion that other people think highly of you and are secretly trying to help you. Basically the opposite of paranoia. But over the years, the concept has been picked up in the self-help communities, and it turned from a mental health disease into a useful mental tool for success. Today, when people talk about pronoia, they're usually talking about one of two things. First, there's the inspirational version, a conscious choice to see the world full of opportunities. Let's call this healthy pronoia. It's the belief that says, I expect good things to happen. I'm going to look for opportunities and I'll interpret challenging situations in a way that helps me move forward. But there's a second, much darker version. This is unhealthy pronoia, and it's where this superpower can go really wrong. This is the version that says everyone is obsessed with me. The universe guarantees my success and I don't need to listen to feedback because I am special. This is the slippery slope from confidence to narcissism. Understanding the difference is the key to unlocking pronoia as a superpower while avoiding its potential to become a total disaster. Because many of the world's most successful people live in the world of healthy pronoia. But that line is thinner than you think. And look, I know this sounds like woo-woo motivational nonsense, but the science proves your brain literally changes its hardware when you think like this. Here's the neurological reality of delusion. Step 3 is to understand the science behind pronoia. So, is this just wishful thinking? A nice sounding mantra with no real world impact? Nah. The power of this delusional mindset is actually backed by decades of psychological research. It isn't magic, it's how your beliefs change your brain, which changes your actions, which ultimately changes your reality. Let me explain. It starts with something called the optimism bias. This is a well-documented glitch in human psychology where we naturally expect good things to happen to us and underestimate the bad. Most people have a mild version of this, but high achievers have it in abundance. They don't just hope for the best, they expect it. Where a realist sees a risky roadblock, an optimist sees a hidden entryway. This bias is what pushes them to take huge risks and push through failures that would make anyone else quit. This mental expectation triggers a powerful psychological phenomenon, the self-fulfilling prophecy. You might have heard about it. When you truly believe a positive outcome is inevitable, your behavior automatically aligns with that belief. You start to work harder, your brain gets more creative with problem solving, and you project an aura of pure certainty. That energy makes other people, investors, customers, collaborators want to buy into your vision too. Your belief doesn't magically warp the physical world. It completely changes your actions, and your actions are what change the world. And this creates a loop. Your belief fuels massive action. Massive action creates small wins, and those wins reinforce your original belief, making it bulletproof. Finally, high achievers combine this optimism with a psychological trait called an internal locus of control. I know that's a mouthful, but this simply means you believe that you are the main architect of your own life. You take the full responsibility. You don't feel like a helpless victim of luck or bad circumstances. You feel like you are the master of your own fate. When you blend all three together, you get what psychologists call a growth mindset. You no longer see challenges as a sign to stop. Instead, you look at the brutal failure and interpret it as a necessary plot point, a lesson the universe forced you to learn to make you strong enough for the next level. Successful people aren't completely blind to the harsh facts of reality. They just choose to put 100% of their focus on the reality they are actively trying to build. But science is one thing. How does it look when a broke kid from Chicago used it to completely disrupt a multi-billion-dollar industry? Enter Ye. Step number 4. Seeing proof it actually works. No other human being embodies this delusional superpower more than Ye. Today the world knows him as a billionaire fashion mogul and one of the most decorated artists of all time. But back in the early 2000s, believing he would ever reach those heights was the definition of clinically insane. Ye started his career as a producer. He was the mastermind behind Jay-Z's iconic album The Blueprint. He was making hits for everyone else, but what he desperately wanted was to be a rapper himself. The only problem, nobody would sign him, and they wouldn't sign him because he didn't fit the reality of the music industry at that time. This was the era of gangster rap with people like 50 Cent and Ja Rule, straight up street credibility. Ye was a middle class kid from Chicago who wore pink polo shirts and Louis Vuitton backpacks. Executives never took him serious. He would walk into record labels, play his demo tapes, and people would literally look away or check their phones while he was in the room. They told him to stay in his lane. They told him he was just a producer. If Ye had been a realist, he would have accepted their facts. But he possessed a level of healthy pronoia that bordered on a reality distortion field. He didn't see their reaction as a stop sign. He saw it as a temporary blind spot in their reality. And just when it seemed he's gonna have his breakthrough, the ultimate setback happened. Driving home from a late night studio session, Ye fell asleep at the wheel and he got into a near fatal head-on car crash. His jaw was shattered in 3 places. He had to be wired shut. For a realist, this was the end of the rap dream. But for him, operating under pure pronoia, this wasn't a tragedy. It was the universe handing him his breakthrough moment. Weeks after the accident, while his jaw was still physically held together by metal wires, he went into the studio. He couldn't even open his mouth properly, but he recorded a song called Through the Wire. He rapped through his shattered jaw about his own survival. He didn't have a record label backing the song, so he spent $35,000 of his own money to fund the music video. That song became a massive hit and forced Rockefeller Records to finally release his debut album, The College Dropout. Ye's unwavering delusional belief didn't ignore the car crash or the label rejections. His mindset allowed him to reframe those brutal setbacks into the exact fuel he needed to bend the music industry to his will. He acted like a superstar long before anyone gave him a microphone. But remember the warning from earlier? If you use this superpower incorrectly, it will backfire drastically. And the exact same mindset that built his empire is the identical weapon he used to accidentally destroy it. Step number 5, avoid the dark side of pronoia. When your self-belief is so powerful that it successfully alters reality, a dangerous psychological shift can happen. You stop believing the universe is conspiring to help you and you start believing that you are the universe. This is the exact point where healthy pronoia morphs into unhealthy narcissistic grandiosity. And Ye is also the ultimate modern case study for this dark side. Once he conquered the music industry, he set his sights on fashion. And initially his strategic delusion worked again. High fashion houses told him a rapper couldn't design luxury clothes. He refused to accept that reality, created Yeezy and partnered with Adidas and became a billionaire. His delusion had been vindicated twice. But when you are constantly rewarded for ignoring what is realistic, you can lose your touch to reality entirely. Ye began to view any form of criticism, boundary or feedback not as data, but as an attack by haters or an attempt by the industry to control him. He stopped surrounding himself with people who could tell him no. His reality distortion field, which once inspired his team to build empires, became a tool of isolation because he believed his instinct was always on point. He stopped looking at data, ethics or the human impact of his actions. This resulted in a series of highly public, erratic spirals, burning massive corporate partnerships with Adidas and Balenciaga overnight, making deeply harmful public statements and alienating his closest collaborators. Ye's story shows us the terrifyingly thin line of this superpower. When his pronoia was healthy, it gave a kid in a pink polo the resilience to rap through a wired, shut jaw and change music forever. But when it became unhealthy, it turned into an echo chamber that shattered the very reality he spent decades building. He proved that you can use delusion to conquer the world, but if you don't anchor the delusion with humility and truth, proof, the world you build will eventually collapse on top of you. Which brings us to the moment you've been waiting for. How do you build this superpower without losing your mind? I'm going to give you my bulletproof execution framework. Practicing healthy pronoia isn't about ignoring reality. It's about consciously choosing the most empowering version of it. And here's the ultimate way to start building this mindset today. First, you need to assume support, not certainty. Healthy pronoia isn't believing that success is guaranteed. That's just entitlement. It's about assuming that help and opportunities are out there if you look for them. Instead of thinking this is impossible, you ask yourself, what would have to be true for this to be possible? Or who could I talk to that might know how to fix this? This simple shift moves you from giving up to actively solving the problem. The universe isn't going to hand you success, but it will give you opportunities. Second, look out for positive evidence. Our brains are wired with a negativity bias. We remember insults more than compliments and dwell on our failures more than our wins. To fight this, you have to become an active collector of positive evidence. At the end of each day, write down 3 things that went well. They don't have to be huge. Maybe a stranger held the door open. Maybe you got a quick positive reply to an email. By consciously looking for these small conspiracies in your favor, you are literally training your brain to notice more opportunity and support around you. Basically, you're building your pronoia muscle. Third, reframe setbacks as plot twists. This is maybe the most powerful practice of all. When you face a setback or a rejection, your gut reaction is probably frustration. A pronoic mindset challenges you to ask a different question. How is this happening for me? This isn't about being toxically positive or denying that failure hurts. It's about finding the lesson hidden inside the failure. It's about treating your life like a story and seeing setbacks not as the end, but as a necessary plot twist to make your eventual victory that much sweeter. Fourth, pair your optimism with a brutal honesty. This is exactly where Ye failed. He stopped doing this. Your delusional belief have to be paired with a ruthless commitment to objective feedback. Surround yourself with a small circle of people who you know will tell you the truth even when it's hard to hear. Define clear metrics for success. What data will tell you if you're on the right track? Ask yourself, what evidence would convince me that I am wrong? A true visionary uses their belief to inspire action, but they use data to guide that action. Fifth, act as if. Finally, belief is useless if it doesn't lead to action. Acting as if means embodying the person you want to become before you have all the external proof. How would the successful version of you walk, talk, and make decisions? You don't fake your skills, but you can adopt the confidence mindset of someone who believes in their ability to learn them. It's about leading with confidence, not arrogance. When you walk into a room believing people are there to help, you carry yourself differently. Your body language is more open and you radiate a warmth that naturally draws people towards you. You create the very conditions you were hoping for. So, are successful people delusional? In a way, yeah. Many of the world's highest achievers operate with a level of self-belief that from the outside looks completely detached from reality. They practice a form of healthy pronoia, a conviction that the universe is working in their favor. This mindset isn't about denying reality. It's about choosing to focus on the reality you want to create. It's a powerful engine for motivation, resilience, and action that allows you to push through the inevitable hard times of any ambitious goal. But this superpower comes with a huge responsibility. The line between a world-changing vision and a narcissistic self-destruction is a thin one. It's the line between listening to feedback and silencing it. It's the difference between bending reality and breaking it. The greatest leaders pair their irrational optimism with a rational approach to getting things done. At the end of the day, the world isn't shaped by realists. It's shaped by unreasonable people who have a vision for a better future. and the delusional self-belief to make it happen. The question is, what reality are you choosing to create? What's the one delusional goal you can chase right now? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what conspiracy you believe the universe is cooking up for you.